Sorry, is this all right? My clothes were covered in dust and dirt, so...
And they weren't doing much to cover her up either. I try to fix the least perverse grin on my face that I can manage, stretching it across my mouth like a bad Botox job. Hey, I'm not complaining. Er, Probably laid the enthusiasm on a little thick there, Kyle. But Hannah just smiles and blushes.
If you're sure, I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
Judging from the feeling already stirring between my legs, that's an inevitability at this point. We get into the sleeping bag. She climbs in carefully, moving slow and minding her busted ankle. There's barely any room for the two of us pressed awkwardly body to body. My skin burns with embarrassments, hot and a little rough against hers. Was there any doubt about warming up? If there was, I think my crimson face might be enough to keep us both toasty. She glances up at me, her own face equally red, the color spilling into her cheeks and blotching across her nose. We both look like tomatoes, don't we? She laughs and hides her face.
It's for survival.
There's literally nowhere for either of us to go, trapped inside the tight space of the sleeping bag while she lays on my chest. After a few moments in quiet, we both get used to the awkward arrangement. This is one way to get to know a person.
I can't decide if this would be more or less awkward than speed dating.
Speed dating? Is that seriously a thing?
My sister does it.
Doesn't she know there's an app for that? She chuckles.
At least in speed dating, you can see what you're getting up front. On apps, it's like ordering clothes off a knockoff website. You think you're getting a great deal that looks nice, and then when it shows up, you want to demand a refund.
Oh, harsh. Hannah shakes her head.
Ugh, her neck looks weird. Did you guys notice that? Look at it. It's just like a little tiny pencil neck with a head that's way too big to support that neck. It's like if she stands up right now, her head's so heavy it'll like break. Ew, that doesn't look good at all. Sorry, pencil neck. Maybe it was, but it didn't mean to be. People can find love in all kinds of places. Online, at work, school, in the hospital for my broken neck.
Trapped in a cave? She snorts.
Easy there, Romeo.
I'm kidding. She nods, seeming to sense the mood I was going for. Thank God. If she'd taken it the wrong way, this would have been even more awkward. But we seem to click pretty fast for two people randomly forced into this situation.
I know this is an awkward time to bring it up, but I'm really grateful you're down here. If we get out of this, I'll...
When we get out of this?
Right, when we get out of this, I'll owe you my life. I just want you to know that this isn't a thankless job you're taking on.
Of course it's not.
I don't have much money, but I'll find some way to repay you.
Don't worry about that.
I want to. I want to worry about it, I mean. This is the first chance I've had to worry about what I'm going to do once I get out of here. Before, that wasn't even an option.
Just wait. Tomorrow we'll be back in the sunlight, fresh air, much better view. Hannah, she gives a... that's supposed to be in quotations. She gives a breathy sigh.
Sounds like a dream.
After a while, I hear her breathing finally start to slow down as she drifts off. She must be exhausted. Sleep doesn't come easily for me. I'm too busy staring up at the overhanging ceiling. The lantern is extinguished. Just the overhead blackness seems to loom in, threatening and oppressive. I try not to think about it, but it's the only thing that preoccupies my mind. What if it comes down at any second? Would it be instant, just here 1 minute and then gone the next? Would the rocks crush the air out of my lungs and suffocate me slowly? Or would they only crush half of me, maybe from the waist down, and leave me to thirst to death in agony? Pleasant. Ugh. I'm lying on my side with a cute girl in her underwear, and this is what I have to worry about? The silence and the darkness are enough to drive me crazy. I wonder how long Hannah was down here alone, waiting for the same fate. I shudder, burying myself a little deeper into the warmth between us. My swarming circular thoughts eventually fade into a restless sleep. I jolt awake, lurching up into the dark. Eep! Sorry, did I wake you? I take a gasping breath, sighing as I realize it was just Hannah fumbling around. It's all right. My heart throbs in indignant protest. What are you doing? I was trying to get the lantern on, but I can't see well enough to actually do it. Sorry, it was silly. Here. I turn it on. Thanks, I was going to get dressed. Yeah, you do that. I look away again as Hannah turns her back to me and leans against the wall to hold herself up. How are you feeling? Better. Good enough to walk around and hopefully get out of this place. Trust me, that's first on the agenda. Did you hear anything in the night? Not much, no. She breathes a quiet sigh of relief. All done. I gather up my pack, shoving the sleeping bag into it. I turn farther down into the inner sanctum of the cave, glancing between our options. Let's go this way. Why? Glancing down the long passage, it doesn't look like any different from the others. I don't know, just a feeling I've got. She links an arm around my neck, letting me help carry her and take some of the weight off her injured ankle. Wait! We stand still, listening to the quiet shift of sand and small rocks. I think it's coming from over there. Then yeah, we're definitely going this way. We hurry down the corridor, away from the sound of anything that might suggest another collapsing tunnel. But everything remains quiet, thankfully, even if the echo of my own footsteps freaks me out occasionally. I try to move slowly, for Hannah's sake. You said you're a vet, right? No, I'm not a vet myself. I'm just a vet assistant. It's kind of like a nurse, where the vet would be the doctor. I started working right out of high school. I haven't even been there a year yet, but I guess it's getting close. So you just graduated? Last May. I thought you looked about my age. And you're livening up out here. Yeah. Don't ask, it's a dumb story. She chuckles. I like dumb stories, but I'll try to hold back. Wait. Hold the light up a bit. I do as she asks, the two of us standing carefully still. Do you see that? No. Looking out into the dark, I can't see much of anything. I lift the light and hold it further out. No, not out there, right here. She moves the lantern back towards our faces, pointing to the dust drifting through the cave. Stay very still. I don't know what she wants me to see. That's when it hits me. Both the realization and the fact that I'm an idiot all in one. It's still moving. Consistently. That means there's a draft. There might be another way out close by. Or it could mean the ceiling's about to collapse again. I decide not to voice that particular thought, not when the excitement in her voice is almost infectious. Come on! Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but the air does feel different, lighter. The tension builds as if at any moment we could stumble around a corner and into a patch of sunlight. But then the path splits again, leading to nothing more than murky shadows. Why do these tunnels have to be so confusing? I feel like I'm in a maze. I don't guess you have any intuition about going right or left? No, not this time. I try to choose a way using the gentle draft, but there doesn't seem to be much difference. We'll just have to pick one and hope. I know we're not making good time because I'm slowing you down. I can wait here and you can scout ahead. It'll be faster and you can just jog back if you hit a dead end or another tunnel. You'll be alright here? Don't do it! I'm not going to say I like it. But I trust you to come back for me.
Don't do it! Of course I will. Just hang tight, okay? She nods.
Good luck!
I jog down the dark passages, only gradually realizing that it means I just left Hannah waiting in nothing but darkness. I better not take too long. Being afraid of the dark seems silly under most circumstances, but in a place like this, it gets to you. It's hardly different from having hands around your throat. The further I go in, the more doubts start to well up in me. The floor seems to tilt downward, not up. I'm just running further into this labyrinth. I don't think I'm any closer to getting out. Maybe the other way? But a nagging sense tells me I have to find out where this goes. I wish Hannah actually was with me. I didn't have to be here alone for very long, but now that I am, every shadow seems darker. Except, is that? A beam of light catches my attention up ahead, suddenly banishing the creepy thoughts entirely. Is that really? I run towards it, just to be sure I'm not imagining it. Trees and birds and sunlight! I emerge from the mouth of the cave, drinking in the sight with a nearly delirious laugh. We've made it! I practically fall to my knees, basking in the relief. The grass feels soft and warm beneath my fingertips. In a tangle of brambles, a few purple flowers bloom. I've never been so happy to actually be outside. That's the sort of thing Andrea would say. It's ridiculous how much I actually miss them, even if we're barely apart for a day. I wonder where they are. But I don't have time to check. I can't leave Hannah down there. With a grin, I pull up one of the flowers free and head back inside at a sprint. Hannah! The trip doesn't seem long at all heading back. Kyle! She scrambles to her feet as she hears me coming, leaning against the wall. What happened? Did you find it? With a triumphant smile, I hold the flower out to her. It's not an olive branch, but it's the best I could do. Oh my God! Really? There's a way out! Well, this certainly wasn't growing down here. She practically pounces on me, throwing her arms around my neck. Yes! 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 She bounces happily on her good foot. Hannah, I can't breathe. Sorry, I got a little carried away. Her happiness glimmers in her eyes, and I can't fault her for it. Come on, let's go. I really, really want to get out of this place. I swear I'm going to have to sleep with the nightlight on for the rest of my life. Together, we start towards the exit. If we find them, I'll introduce you to everyone. If we don't? Well, that's a hurdle we're going to have to climb. I decide not to say that. Hey, let's just be glad that we're getting out. Besides, one of them's pretty loud. I'm sure we'll hear her talking from a mile away. I'm so used to the others shadowing me, I still half expect Rain to throw some sort of retort at me. That just means you'll never short on conversation, right? Well, that's one way to look at it. You're an optimist, aren't you? As of 2 minutes ago, you bet your ass I am. We laugh as we head through the cave, a straight shot towards freedom. Suddenly, Hannah goes stiff against my side, pulling me back. What? Look out! She pushes me away. The cave vanishes suddenly in a roar that fills up my ears. Dust and debris fill my lungs, a collapsing wall of stone barely missing me. Run towards the exit! Go! I move blindly, tripping and stumbling, scratching up my knees on the jagged rocks. Finally, I grope my way through the dark, stumbling out into the light. Desperate breaths and coughs draw clean air into my lungs, my shoulder throbbing from a stone that must have fallen onto it. Only now do the little aches and pains become noticeable, a trickle of blood running behind my ear. Where's Hannah? She was right behind me. I stare at the dark mouth of the cave, waiting. As a stream of dust arises from the opening, but nothing else. Hannah! Finally, against every instinct in my body, I crawl back inside.